Well, hello, folks. Just when you thought the 6 days, the 6 evil days with Pope Francis in Canada, residential school genocide, was going to be the end all and be all, the final nail in the coffin, everything changes. Just 2 hours ago, news breaks as Pope Francis flies out of Canadian airspace, and published by the Globe and Mail. Absolutely factual, documented and recorded, backed up. It's not fake news. Pope Francis clearly on the flight out tells the Canadian reporter from the Globe and Mail, he says, yes, it was genocide. Yes, publish. Tell them I said it was genocide. I want you to tell them it was genocide. Why didn't he speak about it in the 6 days, folks? Why in all of his trip? Why would he wait till he left Canadian airspace? We're going to get into more. There's papal bull doctrine, absolutely the doctrine of discovery, and Pope Francis leaves us some serious clues going forward. And if you pick up on it, you understand, you start to put things together. So Pope Francis wanted to make sure he left Justin Trudeau, Pierre Poilievre, Jagmeet Singh, and the rest of the colonials, even Yves Blanchette, even especially Yves Blanchette, Quebec. Folks, there's so much, as I've told all of you, doing the training in the ICC. And remember, folks, Pope Francis, Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, has read all the documents none of us have seen. He's privy to all of them. All of the documents of the Catholic Church in France, all of the Catholic Church and documents with Great Britain, UK now today, all of Spain, all of Portugal. Do you see the problem here? He needs Russia and USA, folks. He absolutely needs Russia and USA. And they're not there right now. What's the one issue that is dividing USA and Russia today from dealing with the colonials? Well, that's easy. It's Ukraine. That's the Pope's next mission. His knee's bad. He states he needs serious work on the knee, but he doesn't want to go through the surgery and the anesthesia. Likely it will take him out of commission, probably permanently. He has work to do. And he's going to do it. He has stated, and I'm saying it again, clearly as he left Canadian airspace to Canadian reporters, recorded, live and recorded, and on that recording he clearly says, yes, it was genocide, and yes, publish, tell them all I said it was genocide. He's using what strength he has left as he's able to command the Catholic Church to move on now to Ukraine to try and end it there, salvage Russia and USA. Folks, it's no small issue with France and UK. It's not. Then you have the Church of England and all the atrocities of the French and the English together. It's brutal. Just as brutal as what would be Portugal and Spain. He can't just do what he wants. They're not as powerful as people think. Remember, church was always under state. And I think if you read papal bull doctrine in relation to each application of it with the Catholic Church, with each nation, you're going to find out huge atrocities. Now, Canada hides behind that, folks. The criminal Justin Trudeau, Pierre Poilievre, no different, folks. You can go back in their careers and what they've voted on, what they've done, keeping the Indian Act. If you're participating in it as a Privy Council member, you are down with the crown. You are a genocidal maniac. This is absolutely Justin Trudeau. His entire family, right back to his father, absolutely probably the worst living one on the list, and is our prime minister. But I guess who would be prime minister for the crown? Lunatic genocidal maniacs. Justin Trudeau, Pierre Poilievre, all through Harper. He knows all of it, all the Indian Act that they've kept performing under the Conservatives is as bad as Trudeau. Probably not in total family history, but nonetheless, once you enter it, once you know the truth, once you're participating in the crimes, these evil crimes against humanity, in full-on colonialism, you're garbage. Jagmeet Singh betrayed India, came to Canada, goes with the Labour Party just to corrupt it. He's totally with the crown, hence why he's not in India, why his family's rejected, because India doesn't take the crown. They're absolutely not down with the crown. Jagmeet Singh found a home in his Commonwealth, found a dictatorship as a crown sworn lawyer for the Labour Party, down with the crown. Yves Blanchette, Bloc Québécois, they have some of the most atrocious crimes against the First Peoples yet to go through, folks. Yet to go through. There are many years of work here, and I'm telling you, Quebec has a dramatic amount of disgusting, real history. I'm not slamming Québécois, I'm just telling you that the government, in relation with the church, and not just the Catholic Church, even though that's the largest for sure for Quebec, goes into many others. It goes into hostile. That's the first time you hear that in residential school, the word hostel in the First People. It's just like what you think a hostel is, a hotel, but there's a residential school hostel narrative. Goes through absolutely all of what is the Inuit Arctic peoples, the Arctic line drawn in Canada, but absolutely of the Arctic Circle, registered and understood by USA and Russia specifically, those two countries specifically. Pope Francis knows what needs to be done. He's moving on with what little strength he has left. He says he's not done yet. He doesn't suspect that he will live with the pain with his knees. He won't do the surgery. He will finish this job. That's his promise. That's what he stated. He's going on. He's going to try and win USA and Russia. Unbelievable as that is. But you know what? Before everybody takes this in another direction or other directions, none of us have read Papal Bull application doctrines or the doctrine of discovery. Specifically, none of us have any privy to any of those records in France, of UK and the former British Empire, absolutely Spain and Portugal. None of us of those, just those four specifically, none of us have any access to any of that records. And those countries will not release, especially France and UK. How do you make P5 members do that? You can't. And remember, if you want to know the truth, it's church under state. Pope is not head of the snake here, folks. If you ever want to know the truth, go to Parlement de Quebec. You will look upon that, which is alive and well in Canada today. You want to see Papal Bull, Doctrine of Discovery, absolute Doctrine of Discovery through Papal Bull. You look at that, and it is God who hands the swords down to the almighty government. And as you go down the tier, and it's stacked in statue on the face of the Parliament, you go down it. I video recorded it for all of you. I have tons of pictures. I have all the write-up translated. It's crazy history. A history nobody talks about. I took Ian Bjorkman with me. Treaty 3. He saw it all. We went through it piece by piece. I think even Ian can say he was happy to have me there to go through all of it in its entirety in first person, because a lot of people wouldn't know where to look for this stuff. And you know what? You read enough, you go through it, but I'm telling you, they say God is your politicians. It's always been that way in Canada. It always will be. All colonials, all of those of doctrine of discovery or any of the Spanish, Portuguese papal bull. Same with the UK and doctrine of discovery. That's true. And they believe they're gods. They're the gods. God gives them the right to hack and slash at will and do whatever they want to whomever, wherever. Women, children, doesn't matter. They are of God. You go down, you get to military, and then way down here's the religious folks. After military, all the crown powers, your governor, general, lieutenant governors, the military, the police. Then there's the church, who are to teach you, the slaves, you, the savages, to work hard for your masters from the Lord thy God, because they are God. God gave them that power, so they narrate. It's right there for all Canadians to look. The Parliament, the Canadian Parliament in Ottawa, it was that way too. You can go at least to Queen's Park, Toronto, provincially, and see the reality of these great titan gods of society. Queen Victoria and all of her mighty power of God and the angels empowering her massive statue overlooking the hill that I am a god over you all. It's there. They've removed a lot. The only history that we can see clearly is in Quebec, but it was the Parliament of Canada. Now, Trudeau's been busy demoing, hiding, putting statues away. Shh, don't tell. Pope Francis knows the truth. And it seems, folks, it seems clear to me when he left the airspace, when he knew he was under Vatican protection once more, outside of the UN, he clearly tells everybody, yes, it was genocide. Yes, you can tell them all I said that. Report it. Trudeau, Poilievre, Singh, Blanchette, May. We can go on and on. Bernier. We can go on and on. They're all corrupt. They're all of the crown. They've all participated and voted for, in their lifetimes, the destruction of a people's entirely. It's been illegal. Canadians, First Peoples, since absolutely 1945. The sick part about it is Canada voted on all of these international laws and crimes, and when it came time to cycle through the International Court of Justice, they quit it. They sent a letter saying, we quit you, and created a fake ICJ, International Commission of Jurists, ICJ, with a Canada on the end, thinking you're all too stupid to figure it out. And that Canada takes garbage can UN deals, shot down by the Allies, meaning it's been vetoed, not to be applied as international law, and somehow becomes Canada's domestic abuse laws against their own people, where they savagely rape, enslave, and genocide you, depending on who you are. And they've been doing this to the First Peoples in genocide forever and a day, since their inception. And they'll never stop. There is no constitutional authority created to make them stop. They use fake courts, they pretend to the world, they buy their way out. France and UK never come forward because they have deep, dirty, dark skeletons in their closets. Pope Francis and the bishops would like to testify. But how are they when they face mighty UK and mighty France on the swords of justice handed down by what they say is God? Are we going to have the Pope assassinated? It's happened before, folks. Are we going to have all the bishops assassinated? It's happened before, folks. Look at your history books. That's the power of UK and France, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Besides maybe United States of America China, and Russia. But you've got to get them to come to accord. And they very rarely ever do that. It's not impossible. It's happened actually quite a few times in the world. In comparative analysis of what's been ratified in this world, which isn't a whole lot, but some tremendously good things, doesn't happen quite often as we'd all like, probably once every 15 years, maybe twice, if you're lucky. And we saw one of those with the pandemic, so, we hope that Francis can move the mountain called Russia and USA, deliver something for Ukraine that will work for all parties. We'll see. I don't know. He's going for it. Do I commend him for it? Sure. Am I very happy he clearly stated genocide today? Yes. And I don't think he's going to speak of papal bull or doctrine of discovery that's specific to Canada because of France and UK. That's the truth. I don't think so, folks. I think he faces some serious problems here, and the work won't get finished. I'm just being honest. And if anyone has never looked up assassination of popes, well, you can look it up. It happens. It happens actually quite often in history, very recent history too. This is my video. It's important to share. It's credible, real, verifiable. It was recorded. Global News, Globe and Mail. It's there. It's there. You can all read it. Just published a few hours ago. And it's funny. Pope Francis zipped his lip while on colonial lands. Said as minimal as he could. I think he got Canada's government to pay for it. And then as soon as the trip's over, he turned around and said, basically in a nice way, you, buddy. You. And then he told the truth for the people. I commend him for it. Great move. It's sad for taxpayers, funded it, but he came, he saw, he did his thing, he met the people, he saw. And then when he left, he turned around and said, it's genocide, they're genocidal. Tell them I said it. And it's recorded, guys. He admitted it. That's a crime for Justin Trudeau, Pierre Poilievre, Jagmeet Singh, Yves Blanchette, Maxime Bernier, Elizabeth May. We can go on and on and on. On and on and on. So many Privy Council members. So many provincial politicians, even more than that, administering these acts, allowing it to continue till today. We're at war with the Canadian First Peoples, unceded land, Cascadia, half of British Columbia, the coast, and into Ontario, Caledonia. Check it out, folks. We're at war with First Peoples. We've been at war for hundreds of years. And apparently it's okay for Canada to do that. Apparently. I think Pope Francis is going to make a major difference. And I think with ICC now, as long as the Pope's alive, for the incoming ICC judges, I think it's the First Peoples who are going to win. And we got to work really hard at getting the reports in to UNSCP 5 and the ICC. We're going to have to hit the chiefs with it. We're going to have to put all this together and show them. Why would the Pope not release anything or say anything to get Canada worked up, or any of the Canadian politicians worked up, until he was on a flight out of Canadian airspace? Safety of the Vatican, not in the UN. Canada's a UN state, a colonial, broken, genocidal state. As stated by the highest Catholic authority, Pope Francis, just 2 hours ago, maybe 2.5 now. Real folks, you can all look it up this morning. Share. I gave you all the background. It's real, it's credible, and I promise you, the judges coming forward in 2023 are all colonial judges of Roman Catholic origin. I don't think it's an accident. I think Pope Francis is trying to do the right thing, and I think the First Peoples have to be a little more patient, because you don't know the power of life and death. The power of France to do it, the power of UK, and I'm going to tell everybody, if you've never Googled the UNSCP-5, France has killed, and I'm not saying murdered, that's not the right term. They don't murder. They execute anybody individually they want to anywhere in this world. It's a fact. Including, you can Google right now, France has assassinated the most African presidents. The most out of any other UNSCP-5. They all have the power over life and death. Donald Trump does it. Every president that comes in has done it. Donald Trump ordered Soleimani, boom, you're dead. Doesn't have to get permission from any nation. That's the power of the UNSCP-5. USA isn't even a record holder of that. France is the major assassinator. UK does it too. Russia and USA are not the worst. France is using that power. French Foreign Legion, they go out and they do it. UK's done it too. China's done it too. UK may not have domestically the death penalty, but internationally they have the power of the death penalty, and they've used it. They use it. Use it all the time. Pope Francis is working on it, folks, and you're going to see. You're going to see. We're going to see what he does with Russia, USA, and Ukraine. Let's see where that goes. His knee's bad. He's going to hold out. He's in pain every day. Clearly, they had to wheel him around. That's what he said on the plane. That's what's recorded. They recorded it. So it's not fake news, guys. I'm telling you, it's real. And he's going to hold off what strength he has left. He's going to see this through. And we have to pray and hope he can get through the next few years. That doesn't mean we stop residential school genocide. It's all the more reason to report to the ICC and absolutely the UNSCP-5. Awesome. Awesome. I'm happy he did the right thing. He said the right thing. He did right by all the First Peoples in Canada. Absolutely. And for all third-class Canadians. He did it. He did it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay as long as he did that with the media. It's recorded. It's there. He admitted it, which means that's testifying to the world, to all Canadians, to all First Peoples. That will not be light in this world. It will not go unnoticed with the UNSCP-5, and it's definitely going to hit the Richter scale in the ICC. And that's the problem. UK, France, that's the real problem here, folks. And a couple others. That's the truth. Germany's already been through it. They're colonial, but let's face it, they've been through it. Japan, colonial, but they've already been through it. The hunt, the witch hunts for all of those radicals and crazy lunatics attached to the crown have already been extinguished. Look at Nuremberg in Germany. Even just last year, there was another one. Japan too. Japan even had more people prosecuted and put to death than Germany because they did heinous, much more worse, brutal crimes. Believe it or not. It's true. And it should be interesting. I think, folks, we can be happy in the notion that we now know colonialism and the crown is a limited thing in this world. At least I hope so. And let's all pray Pope Francis finishes his work. I see clearly what he's trying to do, and I was very, very happy this morning. Shocked, but so happy, because I really didn't want to have the video where I have to say the Pope chose Satan. He didn't. He's choosing Jesus. He's working on choosing Jesus, getting Jesus there and following that path. And I'm pretty happy about that. At least there's something good coming out. We can't win them all, but this is a major milestone. This is major, folks. And if First Peoples don't know waking up this morning, Pope Francis clearly states to Canadian media, recorded told Canadian media after he left Canadian airspace, tell them it was genocide. Say I said it. It's recorded. It's real. He wanted that out. He wanted you all to know. He just wasn't going to do it on UN Canada soil. He was going to do it on his way home to the Vatican. And now we know where he's going next, Ukraine. He wants to settle out USA, Russia, and Ukraine. He wants Russia and USA standing ready, because they're not ready, folks. And this is probably the weakest they've been against the crown since probably World War II itself. As sad as that is, how did the world get here? How could USA and Russia get so messed up? How can they go so toe-to-toe and ignore everything growing around them? A ruined world, and then keep blaming each other. That's got to stop. Have a great day, everybody. Share. Huge. Get it out there. You'll find the news stories are there. There'll be many more this morning. What an excellent way to finish work and an excellent read. Bye now.